I simply use my wordplay to slay misconceptions of innocence bred by ignorance and pride, whereby you feel. They say I make them feel guilty, but no. I simply use my wordplay to slay misconceptions of innocence bred by ignorance and pride, whereby you feel guilty when you are indicted by your own mind. I am a poet. At war with the times, biracial but black inclined, in a time where having melanin's a crime and overall acceptance requires staying in line with no question for what they define as culturally mine. Your guilt comes from the truth your heart knows but brain decides to ignore when I tell you I am a vegan and I don't take lives anymore.
Woo!
How long have you been vegan? Is the first shocked reply. Usually followed by, what made you decide to value a life over meat and hide? So, my mandate is to paint the landscape with a compassionate fan base that has a deep understanding of the food on their plate, which has been used by the states that you only appreciate food that includes a carcass. Conditioned to think it's harmless, but as the people are facing hardships as propaganda targets. Usually after asking why, they want to know how, because we've been conditioned to eat pigs, chickens, and cows, they might say, I could never give up bacon. There's usually at least one in the crowd. But the how is unimportant if the why is understood, because there's millions of healthy vegans, so it's obvious you could, but you'll never find a way without a reason to, so I'll give you 3 to make it meaningful. Let's start with our mother, this great planet of ours. Your plates do her more harm than the CO from your cars. Emissions from the farms release methane in the skies, increasing your carbon footprint by at least 3 times.
Wow.
Meantime, we are eliminating tree lines to accommodate weak minds who value taste buds and fashion over their home and their compassion. It requires 4 times the water to sustain your life versus mine. We talk about a Flint water crisis, but wastewater to dine. California be like, you cannot water your grass. You can give water to a pig, but only if you're gonna eat its ass. Now, for number 2. The animals, my dude, they shouldn't have to suffer for you to enjoy your food. Remember, Michael Vick's a villain for his treatment of dogs, but Whole Foods makes millions and does more harm on their farms. The chickens are debeaked, the pigs they castrate, the bulls violently raped and forced to ejaculate to impregnate the cows who get carved down to steak. Out of sight, out of mind, but that's the violence on your plate now. For number 3, according to the CDC, almost half of all Americans have a chronic disease. Among black Americans, there's this term called soul food, which seems to me to mean robbing a soul to feed you. That's why it's no surprise when our health is in decline, diabetes is on the rise, especially with black guys. Heart disease is there too, your organs will fail you. Especially if you continue to ignore the foods that sustain you. If you were made to eat meat, you could pounce on a deer, but that deer would whoop your ass without a gun or a spear. Your teeth are too dull, your intestines too long, but they have you eating meat twice a day like there's nothing wrong. We're conditioned to be thick, and if not, we're insecure. One girl wanted to eat meat so her breasts and ass could endure. These are the things we value. Not the planet, the animals, or even our health. Taste buds and sex appeal take precedence over all else. Make you feel guilty? I suppose I do. Because I expose the guilt that already lives inside of you and is societal. I'm a poet. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Hey.